Halo, selamat pagi Bapak Ibu sekalian. Terima kasih ya sudah join tepat waktu tadi di jam 10. Sekarang saya akan memulai webinarnya. Terima kasih untuk Bapak Ibu yang telah hadir di webinar ServiceNow dengan tema pengetahuan teknologi modern customer service management dengan kemampuan konektivitas IoT dan kapabilitas prediktif analitik. Sebelumnya perkenalkan, nama saya Kevin Teja dari PT Mitra Integrasi Informatika sebagai Product Marketing Representatif untuk ServiceNow. Nah, di webinar ini akan membahas sedikit mengenai pengenalan ServiceNow dan solusi-solusinya dan melihat kapabilitas dari Customer Service Management dan modul lainnya dari ServiceNow. Nah, nanti di akhir sesi juga ada Q&A dan feedback form. Bagi yang mengisi feedback form nanti akan mendapat Certificate of Attendees. Di sini saya akan memperkenalkan beberapa tim dari ServiceNow, yaitu ada Pak Gary Goh sebagai Advisory Solution Consultant dari ServiceNow dan juga sebagai presenter hari ini. Ada Si Juan Lee sebagai Head of Partners dan Ratni Sukla sebagai Solution Consultant. Di sini juga ada Benjamin Ho. Nah, jika Bapak Ibu ada pertanyaan di tengah presentasi, bisa menulis di kolom chat atau bisa juga open mic. Jadi harapannya di webinar hari ini bisa lebih interaktif. Nah, namun mungkin ada yang tidak nyaman atau ada kendala di dalam penulisan bahasa Inggris atau ingin bertanya atau pertanyaan di bahasa Indonesia juga tidak apa-apa, nanti akan saya coba bantu translate. Nah, langsung saja saya persilakan Pak Gary Go. Hello, Gary.
Okay, thanks for that introduction. I understood like 5% of it, but I hope that I will not be speaking too quickly. All right, and if anytime I'm speaking too quickly, please just raise your hand or sound it out, and I can slow down a little bit. Okay, we have a lot of things to cover, and this is only one part of the entire ServiceNow platform. So I'm really happy and privileged to come and share with you today on what ServiceNow is doing in this particular space. All right, so I'll just do a quick few slides to introduce who ServiceNow is for those of you who are not familiar with us. So our purpose statement for the company is to make the world of work better for people. And how we do that is really to make sure that all the entire enterprise is linked up seamlessly. We make it frictionless to work in the workplace, right? And we also believe that behind every great experience, we are talking about customer experience here in today's seminar, and we are also thinking about how that experience can get better. Many people today are already using their mobile phones. They are living on their mobile phones to do and using it to do everything from shopping to talking to their friends, family, especially now during COVID, right? So we believe that these great experiences will require a great workflow to make it better. Yeah. So ServiceNow, we are literally growing very quickly. You can see in our recent revenue announcements, we are at 32% growth year on year since last year. So we are actually also having, in fact, at the bottom left, you will see it's 98, but last year we were at 99% renewal rate. So ServiceNow is a pure SaaS. We do software as a service over the web. And the renewal rate is where we actually show people that they are happy customers. They are making use of the platform to create the value for their own enterprise. And this is where we are really proud to say that we are being recognized. We are no longer a startup. It's already 16 years old, 17 coming. Okay. And we are very, very closely linked with a lot of global partners like MLI today in Indonesia. Okay. So for ServiceNow, we run our own data centers. So we do not sit on a public cloud. And every single instance that you or your clients are using will be a dedicated instance. So we are not doing multi-tenancy, we are doing multi-instance, right? So you do not share database with any other customers out there today. So it's very secure, and we have all the necessary certifications in our data center to ensure security is there, uptime is there, as you can see, 99.995, and we are running many large global clients in around the world. Okay, 24/7, including Disney. For example, if you have heard, Disney Plus is running on service now. We also have customers like the banks are also running with us. In the global things, right? So many of your customers today are really having very common challenges, especially you're talking about the COVID situation creating this um, requirement to go digital. So many customers are like, they are blindsided by the fact that I no longer can have my mom and pop shop, my brick and mortar shop running as it has been over the past 20, 30, 50 years. All right. At the same time, for those more established customers, you are actually seeing these silos being created. The bigger they are, the bigger the silos. So they have their network team, mine, I'm network, no. They have the data center, or me, data center, right? But typically what we are trying to see is that they are trying to create that seamless connectivity across the silos, and we need to be able to do that. And one of the main helpers is ServiceNow being a platform. So their reason for all the silos is because they actually have point solutions. Okay, help desk is one point solution, data center management is one point solution, database is another point solution. So many of these are very costly. Okay, they take a lot of effort, a lot of skill to make sure that they are actually being using their investment. So where we are playing in this space is the fact that we are helping all of these investments to be glued together in a much better way so that we can increase the productivity, increase the yield of these investments. All right. And how we do that is we require to become the platform of platforms. Why? All those investments they are putting in, the customer is not going to say, oh, let me throw away SAP. That's not going to happen anytime soon, right? What we are trying to do is we connect the entire enterprise. We reduce the friction between the different departments. At the same time, we are secure. And using AI and machine learning, we can create that kind of environment that is very fast moving and very suitable for today's environment. So if you look at the middle portion, that is what ServiceNow is, right? The green color, um, yeah, somebody's having interference. Could you mute? Thank you. So the green color is showing what the platform is. We actually have what is known as a single data model, a single architecture, and a single platform, right? This allows us to literally connect up at the bottom. You will see all the system of records, all your HR, all your finance, your marketing stuff, all your infrastructure, even your Azure, your IBM Cloud, your AWS, okay, will then be able to sit on my single platform to be able to orchestrate all these things at the same time, create the kind of workflows that are required within and without. So if you look at it, we customize, we compartmentalize into three different workflows. IT workflows on the top left side. In the middle, we have the employee workflows. And at the same time, today, we are talking about customer workflows, which has an external facing element to it. Why we create that kind of great experiences and how is because we are compatible with most of the popular mobile and web browsers. In fact, all your conversational chats as well, like Teams, which is what we are using right now. Okay, workplace with the Facebook, Slack, and many more coming up, including WhatsApp and all these kind of things. Okay, so we are creating that very consumer experience using all these very huge and humongous monolith type of system of records. So ServiceNow becomes the system of action, if you would, right? We create the workflow to uh, to smoothen the entire process throughout and across the whole enterprise, right? So here is where I'm going to cover three main points today, right? Firstly, why customer operations are being challenged today. All right, and because most of the time they are disconnected from the back end office or their supply chain all the way to the customer out the front. And we are going to see what is the impact of this being disconnected. Then I will show you how ServiceNow is able to link up, smoothen the entire workflow processes, and make everybody more productive and more profitable. Okay, so I think where it is today is with the COVID, you can't be operating like what you have been before. Now, many of the people are very challenged, work from home. What's that, right? You've not heard of it 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Yeah, there's been talk, but now it becomes a necessity, right? And that means your customers are also out there and separated from you. But at the same time, in your customer operations side, you actually have siloed teams. And now their work from home is worse, right? Before you can walk over to the water cooler there and say, hey, come on, let's work together. Now it's a bit more difficult. Okay. Then at the same time, you are creating this very reactive service. Something breaks down, customer call, oh, then you realize, then you start working on it. Okay. So many of these things are becoming very inefficient because of these barriers. So if you look at it, it is scary. The impact is very, very major. Okay, what it creates is the fact that there are actually huge losses because you cannot connect internally within your company. And yet, right, today you're seeing that only 7%, based on the study by Aberdeen, right, that are actually looking to create that seamless end-to-end customer service operations. So this is a real issue and a real case for us to relook at how you try to improve customer experience. And guess what? Those people who actually go in to work through these seamless customer operations, they truly, truly outperform the market, right? So again, the Aberdeen study has shown they're actually 35% higher retention rates. Again, if you look at our own ServiceNow as an example, we are at 99% renewal. What it means is we are able to show that kind of customer service that is unparalleled in today's environment, even in a SaaS environment. Okay, they are getting greater year-on-year growth on company revenues, and at the same time, the reduction in issue handling time. So one of the examples that we will see later on will actually showcase how this is possible with ServiceNow, right? At the same time, we are looking at why there is a problem. So when you look at customer service as it is, right? We are able to then, I have help desk, what I have an email portal, okay, out there available. But where it does kind of break down is because you have many more people than just the customer and agent to solve the problem, right? You are engaging with a lot of the people who need to handle the case. You are talking about customer operations in the middle office. It can be a finance issue, it can be a product issue, it can be a software issue. Many, many things can happen. And where we are able to do what we are able to do is literally connect across, whether you're in the finance side, whether you're touching the HR side, from the customer perspective, we can touch the entire middle office, back office, all the way to the actual resolution case without with a lot of automation and with a lot of removing the middle need for phone call, for email, which is not trackable. Later on, you will see in terms of where we work, we actually are able to link up the entire enterprise, like I said before. So with all these kind of capabilities, we can really solve the problem much faster. At the same time, even provide self-service to the customer. So you don't even need even to talk to the agent, right? Of course, some of these things are really necessary because some cases may be a bit more complex and they need to really talk to some human person. We can also do from the chatbot over, transfer it over to the human agent. But with the ServiceNow capabilities, your chatbot conversations is already reflected when your case is flagged up to a human agent. So it means the customer does not need to repeat his story or her story to say what is the problem. All the chatbot things, all the things that have been tried or recommended by the chatbot is visible to the agent. So you can see how this speed of resolution can be greatly increased. All right. So at the same time, we also have field service. In the event that, for example, if you are in the telco industry or you are in the oil and gas where people need to go out and check the pipes or check the cable or check the box, network box, right? We actually help in this space to really connect up and close the loop with the field service capabilities in our customer service management application and module, right? So how we are able to unlock it and scale. Remember, front office talking to customer, middle and back offices, we can link them up seamlessly, automate some of the processes. For example, automate some of the approvals for replacement. Okay, so if you have a workflow that says anytime this model or router is down because it's still under warranty, auto replace, it kicks off the process to have the replenishment through your stock room, pass it to your field service agent. The field service agent already has the appointment booked by the end customer to say, 3 days later or tomorrow, depending on what is your service agreement with the customer. And all these things are, there's no human, okay, because it's already a pre-approved replacement. So can you imagine the kind of scale you can do? You no longer need to have 3 people in between the process of take the call to service to replacement, physical replacement. Okay, which means then your customer can on the fly say this model is thing, your system already checks it's under warranty. It already automatically, still no people, only customer on portal. Okay, check that is under warranty, it is valid for a replacement. You click on the button, you set your date for the appointment to be for the on-site to come and replace it and fix it for you. Done. So the only people involved here are really the customer and your field agent that goes and replace the box. Okay, so I just want you to imagine these kind of things that you can do, whether you're in manufacturing, you're in telco, you're in retail, it doesn't matter. The entire customer operations becomes so seamless, right? And it becomes so convenient. Why? Because you already have mobile capabilities. Whether you're on the desktop, like you see the big screen over there, or you use your mobile phone, I don't know what brand this is. Okay, you can use everything and seamlessly. Okay, you can check reports, you can check your next case, you can check anything that you need to do. You can do reallocation of agent. If the agent is busy, the agent can on his mobile say, oh man, my car got an accident. Okay, so I cannot go to the next call. He press a button on his mobile phone. At the back end there, okay, you can actually see the customer, the field agent manager will see, there's a red light blinking down there. I need to resend another person. He can from his screen be able to see who is available and send the nearest engineer. Okay. Then at the same time, we have the capability to see any kind of critical errors that are occurring entirely within your system. So you can see, man, this network is down, which will result in, because we have service mapping. All right. So when a network node goes down, for example, what are the services involved? Who are the customers involved? You can send them a message to say immediately, before even the customer know that I have a slow network, you can already tell the customer to say, we have noticed some slowness in the network due to, well, depending on whether you want to give the reason or not. Okay, and then the person gets an SMS. The person gets to see what exactly is happening, and they are then comforted to know that you are already working on it. Yeah, so this increases the customer satisfaction. Instead of the customer come and bang table, bang chair, call and wait 20 minutes for the phone to be answered, all this will be thing of a past, because we are able to quickly activate the remedial actions, either even not just activate but automate the renewal, the remedial actions. Okay. Then you can also talk about analyzing. Analytics is also in our systems with the professional and enterprise editions available today. So you can actually see what is going on, how long it took, how long it took to reduce, how much time was reduced from the problem to resolution. And you can then start to analyze, hey, maybe this particular area got lots of, I don't know, flooding that creates problems for your delivery, problems for your cabling, many things, all right, problems for traffic, all right. So you can actually do all these kind of analytics from the information that is provided by the platform, okay. Now, customer service is one part of it. So you know that in terms of the capabilities of ServiceNow, we are a platform with multiple products aligned to the platform. So we have been talking about customer service products earlier on, and we are now looking into how the entire platform can work together to give you the true end-to-end visibility, the true end-to-end capabilities to deliver superior customer service. Okay, so some of the products that you will see here is the fact that we are able to then using, remember I talked about preventive maintenance. Okay, we can use this IT operations management professional product, all right, to be able to help identify failure, potential failure, and even be able to start talking about all the workflows that are then linked to this particular set of challenges that might be predicted to fail. So you can start to do things like pre-order the hardware or pre-order replacement hardware. For example, if your CPU usage is too high, you know that, oh man, this is a trend going up. You can start to be able to say, I plan next month to order the improved CPU or upgrade the CPU or upgrade the storage, whichever. So this gives you the ability to truly anticipate requirement. It truly gives you the ability to see and help customers even before they know there is a problem. Okay. Then we are talking about location-based services for your field managed services, right? You can start to see that I know exactly where my people are. I know exactly how many are being worked in this particular area in San Francisco, for example. You can maximize the usage of your human resource. You can be able to do rescheduling on the fly. So for example, he finished early, right? Today he went over there, he plugged, switch on, everything works. I mean, miraculously, everything works after he switch on and plug in. Okay, he's available, right? Instead of having a 40-minute, 1 hour call, he's done in 10 minutes. So he reports his call is done. Tada, you have one more resource to handle any urgent cases at all. Okay, so these are some of the things that you can do. That's plus, if you look at IoT, many of you are engaged in some IoT projects or other. Okay, be it in a freezer temperature measurement, or you're talking about your boxes being shipped, or is there tilt data for your boxes depending on what kind of shipment you are doing. All right, are there any fans that are not working in your cooler section? Are there any kind of pipes that are leaking? For example, you got our moisture detection capabilities in your IoT devices. All these can then be linked into our platform through the connected operations product, right? At the same time, if you realize, we also announced the vaccine management product, right? This has to do with IoT data as well. Talking about freezer temperature and transportation timelines, okay? End-to-end delivery of all these products, including the vaccines. So with these connected operations, you can fully utilize all of your investment, like I mentioned before, right? The investments that you have made on these parts here are really not small, okay? It doesn't, it allows you then to not just have somebody carry a handheld to just be able to scan the IoT device. You are able to centrally manage all of these packages or whatever it is that you have IoT or your fans. We have a power farm that is being managed by ServiceNow IoT data. That means how fast the power generator is spinning. And all this can be then quickly taken into account to identify problems early, to be able to say, is is there a problem? And then you can identify and quickly resolve. All right. So where we are talking about here, customer service is the front end portion that connects the middle office data. Together, it connects with your field service management people who need to go down and replace the cable, replace the fan, or replace the box, okay, or create a different drain pipe, for example, if you want to do that, okay. So some of these things are really, really important. And with connected operations, your IoT devices can be linked up. All right. So the entire power of the platform comes into play if you want to truly engage from end to end, even before customers complain to you, right? Then at the same time, we also have this thing called App Engine. Now, App Engine is interesting, right? Because it allows for a no code, low code, or even pro code creation of applications for your customers. We call it the democratization of app creation, right? So you can drag and drop. You can even convert your Excel spreadsheets into an application that will run on your mobile phone. Okay, so some of these things, if you are interested, please approach MII and we can help you to start creating your own apps internally within the organizations. Like one of our customers in Hong Kong, right? Their people actually created a carpool app. You know, Hong Kong traffic, if you drive, is quite bad, right? So they actually created a carpool app using ServiceNow. So you can start booking your carpool, what time you want to leave the office, who else is leaving the office. So it's exciting because it is very simple to use and you can literally scale out throughout the organizations where people become more productive and they become a lot more especially the younger people now, they are very tech savvy. So they think that I can do this, I can do that. They have very innovative ideas. You will be able to help them engage even better within their workplace. Okay, being able, allowing them to even create their own apps. All right. So here is the whole concept again. Through end-to-end customer workflows that cuts across all the different silos. Okay, be it in HR, finance, legal, IT, right? At the same time linking them up with the customer. So in the event that some of these things require direct customer contact with your backend immediately, like billing, I don't have to run through an agent to do it anymore. Okay, because my entire platform is allowing my customer to literally give direct feedback and not the agent being the bottleneck. Yeah. So where we are looking at is even from an agent perspective. If you have a help desk or you have you have a help desk that is helping not just in IT, but you have help desk for HR. Maybe you even have a separate help desk for different parts of your organization, right? We are able to help the help desk gain a lot more productivity because of the connectedness. Meaning that even within the same workflow, I'm not sure whether it's a bit small or not. For those of you you can see Salesforce out there. We actually have a connector into Salesforce CRM, right? So when a customer calls in with an issue or a challenge or a complaint, you actually have a button in your agent desktop to say, this is actually a Salesforce customer as well, or this person exists within our Salesforce database. You can click in and then you can start to see where and what this particular customer is doing or how they are actually engaged with your company. Okay, so this is how it gets a lot more meaningful. You don't have to throw away what you have invested in already or is already currently working well, but integrate it so that it's even more powerful. Okay. Then, because we have the integration hub available, we are able to literally link up even to Microsoft Dynamics, for example. It's not just Salesforce. All right. At the same time, you can link up to many things like SAP. Later, you'll see an example or a demo linking up to the SAP order management system, right? To create the seamless integration, to create the kind of connectedness, the kind of workflow that is very fast, people-less. I wouldn't say people-less, people-less. All right, you still need those probably special cases to be handled by humans. We are able to run already. It says here 150 plus, actually is access on 500, but okay, I'll update the slides later, right? So we actually have many of these connectors available already for many multiple systems out there to give you that kind of investment protection for all those things that you're looking at. Okay, Now I want to run into customer proof points. Any questions at this point in the chat or anywhere else? Somebody want to unmute yourself and ask any questions? Am I speaking on mute?
No, Gary.
Yes, sorry. Say again. So that there are no questions? I was just sticking out in the power. Okay. Okay, so if there are no questions, I will press on, and then we'll have some more time for questions later on. Okay, I don't think I'll be taking up the entire 1.5 hours. All right, unless there are a lot of questions and we can do a follow-up sessions with you. Yeah, just let your respective salespersons at MII understand know what your requirements. We can do a separate demo or we can do a separate engagement with you. Okay. Now we are looking at the entire value of how customer service from ServiceNow is helping our customers. All right. So we are looking at reduction of SLA penalties. We are looking at all the parts of the organization being able to increase their workload and case complexity effectively. Why? Because we are fending off to self-service. Okay. Instead of answering 10 questions on something that is already in the FAQ, the customers go in to the portal, they click on the chat bot, they ask the questions, done, finish. Your customer support people don't answer those. All right. They will focus on things that are more complicated. So this guy has got a complicated order. He wants to split his order into 3 shipment. He wants to do funny things with the order. Order A go to building 1, order B goes to building 2. Those kind, yeah, your customer service human person may need to handle. Okay, or they have some things to do with, for example, they need to escalate to finance for um, additional what they call additional credit. All right, so we can actually route that through the bot directly to finance. It doesn't have to go through, depending on what your workflow is for your organization. All right, from there itself, you can then know, the chatbot will know this is a finance issue. Okay, or it's a complaint against one of your employees. It's a HR issue. Okay, or it's a security issue, and it will then be able to route it to the necessary resolver group. So what it means is literally a 12% reduction in customer case support. Yeah, in on average, we are looking at these kind of improvements. We are looking at 20, 30, some even 50% improvement in customer satisfaction scores, right? What does it mean? Really, what does it mean? It means increased revenue for you, increased profitability, increased productivity, increase of your own employees' happiness or engagement, if you would. Okay. I know help desk. I worked with many help desks before, past 12 years before I joined ServiceNow, right? They, they have very high turnover. Why? Because they are screamed at all the time. Because their customer service, right? They get all the complaints, they get all the unhappy customers, especially in Asia. Very few people call up to say, oh, I love your service. They don't do that, right? Here, not in Asia. Okay, they only call out to complain and make noise and shout at your people. Okay, so with these kind of capabilities that we build into our system, right, with real-time customer satisfaction, every time a case is resolved, immediately, even from the chatbot itself, resolve case, the smiley faces come up. Are you happy? Not happy? Immediate. So you get that kind of immediate real-time feedback on how your customer service is doing. Remember analytics we have, right? Okay, all the number of calls each agent takes, the number of time spent on each case, you have all of these view from the analytics dashboard. Okay, so it gets really exciting. Now let's look at some real world customers here. Okay, real world customers. 25-point increase in customer satisfaction for Vodafone. 25 point. Okay, 25 points. It means millions of dollars of customer retention, millions of dollars of additional business because your customers are happy working or spending money with Vodafone, right? So these are real things. Like Vodafone has been our customer for easily about more than 5 years, 6 years already today. And obviously you see the 99% renewal, right? So Baseware actually is doing, excuse me, again, 11% increase in customer satisfaction score, right? There is a 75% cut in customer response time. So no more waiting on the phone. They are using the self-service. They are driving lots of quick resolutions using the self-service capabilities. So these are real, and these are actual customers that have come forward. Even the VP of Customer Services have come up and say that it actually is able to integrate all the workflows in our customer service operations. Okay, you hear that, right? So they are using multiple system of records. Okay, they have their ERP system, they have their phone system, they have their voice system. Today with ServiceNow, they're all integrated, right? Again, Tennessee, this is more government, right? They are talking about efficiency improvements at the same time, because in these kind of huge organizations, they don't even know who that call is supposed to go to. So oftentimes they are getting a lot of wrong redirections, right? Oh, this one is actually the facilities department, but it's actually not, right? So with our capabilities to do machine learning and AI, right? All these questions going through the chatbot, and because of all the learning that we have for the organization, 99% reduction in inquiry assignment. Okay, so meaning that it gets to the right person at the right time, instead of having to bounce around, right? Oh, it's finance. No, it's still facilities. Oh, no, it's security. It's HR. So that one case get bounced around 3 times via email. So if people on leave and all that, you missed all the SLAs altogether. And there's frustration everywhere, right? The person who requested for that particular service is saying, why is it taking so long? Oh, yeah, it's with HR now. Then you say, then HR comes back and say, actually, it's not HR, it's IT. So you see that kind of frustration is totally disappeared. Okay, so again, this one is for more clinical, pharmaceutical, clinical kind of healthcare. Okay, operations. Again, you're talking about improved data quality. So there's no longer things like phone calls and emails that get lost in the translation, right? Okay, we are talking about the entire quickness of how things get replaced, especially in this kind of health and critical services, where we are able to do parts replacement. We are able to do many of these kind of requests and fulfill all these requests at a much higher speed than before, right? So we are also looking at how we are using IoT to help in many of these cases. The connected operations will help you to be able to talk about fleet management. For those of you who are running trucks or running transportation services, okay, you are looking at the ability to really use real-time data to monitor your equipment, monitor your vehicles, do true preventive maintenance, right? Because you have each of their vehicle parts or machine parts has got certain runtime failure rates, things like that. So you can really start to do these kind of preventive to prevent even higher costs of maintenance moving forward, or even accidents for that matter. Okay, so in this area, you can see that we have tons and tons. Okay, if you need more for your particular industry, again, please talk to MII, your sales teams in MII, and they can be able to give you very good examples linked to your particular industry. So we are looking at, in this case, we are talking about process automations. All right. So we're looking at, instead of having 40 separate processes, they are now all streamlined into a single portal to come in. Okay. So this gives you that huge benefit of being able to realize the value to your enterprise, bearing that kind of efficiency and speed through the many different siloed system of records that you already have invested in. And ServiceNow, being the platform that sits on it, creates that seamless connectedness inside your organization, and you will really be able to enjoy the benefits literally from day one. Okay, many of the automation is already out of the box available. The chatbot is already built in with over 30 different types of conversations out of the box. So if you have any kind of special requirements, you can start to look at how we can also modify and we don't say customize, we do configuration. Okay, much of the changes within the ServiceNow based product are actually done via configuration. So there's very little heavy integration effort required. We have REST APIs. We can do many of the pre-built connectors already in the system to many of the system of records today. Okay. Now I have finished the presentation part of the demo. I want to quickly just show you how we can speed up, okay? Speed up the kind of processes that are being able to touch the external parties, your suppliers. Your employee have requested something, your administrator needs to validate or pass through the approval process. And then you have all your different people in the middle office, like your supply chain managed services, okay? So the workflow that you will be seeing, okay, is the fact that the requester is requesting for something through a very simplified web portal, something that you have gone on the website, any procurement website that you have. It looks very familiar, very simple. Okay, it can be able to then ask questions. It can be able to get FAQ about the products they're buying. It then automatically routes. Okay, if for example you have pre-approved limit for this requester to say below $100 is approved automatically for this particular product. Okay, it will then still talk to all the stakeholders, all the people who are requiring to know about it. The supply chain people will also be aware of it, and then they will start to say, oh, really got no stock, for example, right? You want 500 but only got 400 in stock. You can then create the kind of escalation to say I need more. Create the ERP purchase request automatically into your SAP system. It notifies the supplier from the side. The supplier will see the portal that has a different color, different logo, whatever you want. Okay, that is very simple to use. He or she confirms the order is received. It notifies all the stakeholders, and voila. So typically something that might take 3 to 5 days just to run through this whole chain of workflow literally takes place over minutes. Okay, so can you imagine the kind of efficiency your entire organization is enjoying? All right, so instead of using 5 minutes per person here, there are 3 people involved in this whole process. They don't need, they are just informed because it's pre-approved. So 5 minutes times 3 is 15 minutes. 15 minutes can do a lot of things within the organization, right? So here is where it gets when the reality hits and the production is in place. Okay, you will see how this runs. Okay, so let me just run through this very quickly, and then we'll have some feedback from you later on. So again, this Julie Louis is a requester. So you can see that it's a very simple interface. You have your rolling scroll bar, something about the COVID-19 updates here. Okay, you can put a lot of different types of things over on the web page itself. Yeah. At the same time, you can see over at the bottom here, you can have your HR messages from your CEO on a daily basis. All right. You can upload your own logos, change the colors. You can close out all the notifications if it gets too many or too much. It will also tell you what has currently happening in your organization, any email down, etc. Okay, so you can start to see that there is a community services here. You can start chatting with your people all from the one single portal page. So now you need to go into the service catalog. All right, so the service catalog will show you what you have in your stock room. Okay, so you're actually having all these type of things in your stockroom, including what is the internal transfer cost for each of these items here. And obviously, Julie requires to have some N95 masks. All right, so she's going to place an order for N95 masks. And when she clicks into the N95 mask, she will then be able to see more details. Okay, you have our delivery pre-approved delivery lead time, for example, and the cost in the dollar that is approved by your company. So going into it, you will see that you actually have a more detailed description, Okay, you actually can see you can have a drop down on how many you can buy. Maybe there's a minimum order quantity based on your supplier. All right, then you see that, oh, if I order more than what I have in stock, it actually flags up to say, ha, do you want to do this? I can fulfill 500 only, and I can place on back order. Again, you remember that then the whole work order is then auto assigned through because it's a pre-approved process already. Yeah, you will be able to see when John Jason, who is the fulfiller group that you saw earlier, all right, he will be able to see, okay, there's something coming in. Is it pre-approved? Okay, has it gone through the necessary checks and balances? Is it within the budget of this department? All those are prefixed into your workflow already. Okay, then at the same time, are there any special skills needed to do this work? Oh no, it's just a delivery. Fine, just go ahead and click through. You can then see, look at it and say, okay, that it is still pending approval based on the workflow that you have set. All the necessary information already pre-populated here. Who is the requester? Okay, who are the people being informed? These three people here need to know, okay, but they don't need to click the button to request. Yeah. So once John Jason says that, okay, all these people are already informed, I can go ahead and say create a PO within my ERP system, right? So once he does that, right, like I mentioned, we have integration hub. So he goes into his order management, which in this case is SAP. It can be Oracle, it can be many different modules out there available to you. Create it within the SAP system automatically. It can be a electronic PO. You can do attachment. If you still need signed documents, you can. Not say you cannot, right? Now, after the order is created in SAP, the supplier, which is Sue supplier, you see up here, okay, will receive the notification that an order is required for the N95 mask. And from the supplier side, you'll notice the color is different. Just now, the top banner was blue color. So this supplier's corporate color is green. We change the color, easy. Everybody looks at the same thing. All right. It's very familiar. It's very consumerized. You click into the request. You can see how much is the amount. When is it due? Who requested for it? You see the entire chain. No email, no phone call. Okay. You know who requested, who approved it, who created the order. Yeah. And then from here, as a supplier, you'll be able to say, I can even integrate it to say, oh, do I have stock? I can integrate it into my ERP system or my warehouse system to say, oh, 500, do I have enough? If I have enough, I just go ahead and click accept. Okay. Once you click accept, the PO is accepted. Remember, all these are time and date stamp. You can see it progressing as it goes in here. So you can measure SLA. Right? At the same time, if Sue is on leave, you can create it in your system to go to the next available order entry person or the next available responsible person. Okay, so all these can be automation built in here when Sue is on leave. So it doesn't mean that John Jason and our dear Julie is waiting there, not knowing what's happening because I already raised a PO, but don't know when it's coming, don't know whether it's in approved or not. Okay, so once this is done, the beauty of it is, again, notification is sent back. Okay, a notification is sent back to John Jason, all those three people on the to know list, and Julie Lewis. All right, the entire process, as you can see, literally has got no approvals required. It literally has got the tracking of SLA throughout the entire process from start to finish. Okay, so that smoothness across, remember, it touched ERP system, SAP ordering. It touched the warehouse system of the supplier because the supplier needs to know whether it got stock or not stock. You can still have paper documents if you must have those because of some of your customers may still require a paper document. You can still do that, or you can start to PDF them. We have DocuSign available as well, integrated into the platform, so you have that kind of secure signatures across all your paperwork, digital paperwork, okay, in your system itself. Okay, so here is where the beauty, when it links up the entire organization, it gives you that smoothness to really complete your work in the fastest time possible, right? So you have the linkage between your supplier, your third party, external parties, Okay, you have linkage internally between all the necessary approvers, your finance, your HR, all of the people within your organizations get informed of any action that's taken by any individual. All right. Once that case is closed, immediately you get the 5 smiley spaces to say whether you're satisfied with this service or this order or this particular process or not. Then at the end of the day, you have all the analytics to show you how fast each of these processes take place, how quickly they were resolved, who were the people, so you can start to send thank you note, you can start to give awards to say the fastest employee of the month or the most productive employee of the month, because why, you have all the data there to inform you, right? So these are some of the things that are really, really exciting today. Okay, and at the same time, I mentioned about the customer portal. Your customer portal on ServiceNow can also handle things that are not related to procurement. Okay, meaning you actually have a chatbot that has got natural language understanding, that you can start to talk about anything that you need to talk about. Okay, so you can start to be able to it will know what you are asking for. It will be able to identify how it's going to help you. All right, and then give you the necessary FAQs or necessary links to how you can do what you want to do here using the chatbot. And imagine if the chatbot is unable to resolve your issue or give you the correct information, you can always start to go in here to say, I need to talk to somebody. Okay, so if the chatbot says, I can't help you, or you are not happy with the chatbot itself, you can actually send an email or thing. Whatever you do over here is tracked. That's the beauty. So you can, okay, people who still like to write emails, right, can still use the email, but an email through this system will be tracked through the case that is being raised. Okay, so there is no more disconnected, unmeasurable things that are being done to say, oh, I talked to you already. You know, it is no longer that requirement to be able to track SLAs from end to end. All right. Then at the same time, if you look at the scheduling calendars, for example, right? So right now you have somebody that needs to go down to fix something. You can see my team, my field engineer team is here. I will be able to see what are the cases that are open, who needs to go where. All right. Then I can also talk about the agent itself. So when the agent goes in to their case, they can really start to see all these things here. So the agent assist is here. What are the common cases for this particular issue? What are the common cases? What were the resolution that has been done before? Okay, and then I can start to talk about getting comments over here in the middle part here. You can start to talk about resolution steps. You can promote the case into, or you can create a work order, for example. Okay, and then it will then auto assign based on skill level, based on location tags of that person. Yeah, and all of the history is actually viewable. So you can actually see the chat history interactions. Okay, you can actually see the chat history that this particular person, Julie Louise, has with the chatbot. I can't scroll down. Okay, so the whole chat history will be available here. Okay, she didn't check with her head because she already know what she wanted. She quickly go and open a case already. So my point is, within the single screen, helping the agent to better and quicker respond to all these problems, right? And definitely we can have all the integrations needed to your existing databases as well. Or we can make a call to your existing database to pull the necessary or needed information or data, metadata into the ServiceNow platform, and then we action on that. Excuse me. Okay. So the whole concept that we are bringing to the table today is the simple interface, as you can see on my screen here. simple reassignment of projects. You know what your people are doing when they are doing it. Okay, you can talk about skill levels of your team, right? So if you are talking about, there's no user file here, somebody managed to get a certification in networking, you can then start to assign different people to the skill levels. Okay. Then from there itself, you can start looking at how or what are the needed skills. You can see, hey, all these all kosong. How come cannot? But my firewall appliances now selling like hotcakes. I need more skill here. Then I can start sending my people to courses according to the skill levels that are required. All right, based on what you have set up for your system itself. Yeah. So the whole idea is that we are giving you the capability to really touch throughout the entire organization. Okay, we are able to help you manage your people. In fact, giving you the reports to know what needs to be done. Okay, you can start to see who is where, what are the SLAs being met or not. All the necessary reports are available to the managers. You can dice and slice. You can use bar chart, pie chart, any kind of charts, right? I think there are 5 different options for charts. Okay, then you can actually see everything that in here. You can scroll in to say what are the cases that are. You can go into the details to see what exactly difference between plan and actual. So you have planned work and you have actual work time being spent, for example, or even actual in terms of spending, in terms of cost. Okay, so you can see that all these nice reports are already ready out of the box, and your people can start, or your teams and team leaders can start to do reallocation, reskilling as and when they need to see that. Okay. Okay, so far, any questions so far? I know the live data as usual. Murphy is always working overtime. Anything I have missed in the chat?
Yeah, I will read the question for you, Gary.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Yeah, there's two questions from Tarsisius Wahyu. The first question is that simple web catalog is a part of ServiceNow or separated?
No, the catalog
The
is already
yeah.
part of the platform. The service catalog is already part of the platform. You can start to populate the platform according to what you need. Okay, and then you can start to split it into different services. You can talk about hardware. All these are customizable fields, right? So from a single, if you recall, from the single plane of a portal, okay, the portal comes with a platform. It's a platform capability regardless of the product line that you buy. This is the portal that we have. I mean, of course, it doesn't have to look like that. Like you can make it look as nice as you want or keep it to the stock. This is stock. You can start to be able to split into different departments or different requests, IT requests, HR requests, however you want to run it. So I'm not sure if that answers the question. So you have catalog inside, yes.
Okay. And the second question is, can ServiceNow integrate to CRM like Salesforce?
Yes. Just now I showed you the image already. The Salesforce has got a ready connector inside our too. Here. This one. I don't know, maybe a bit smaller, huh? This one says Salesforce here. Okay, so we can create a workflow that links up into Salesforce, and then inside this agent record, there'll be a button here called Salesforce. So for example, if this guy that created the ticket is in part of your Salesforce database, you will actually have a link here that says Salesforce. Then we click inside here, it will pull Salesforce data into this window here, right? So you never leave the screen. You never leave the ServiceNow screen. Your agent don't have to alternate tab. They don't have to do a swivel chair. They use a different computer to see Salesforce. No need. And not just Salesforce, or Microsoft Dynamics as well, if you're using that as CRM.
Okay. And So ServiceNow can integrate with the other CRM like Salesforce, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And the other question is, can ServiceNow integrate with the existing database?
Definitely can. Definitely can. So depending on what database you are using, like I mentioned, you can do a direct connect to the database, or you can start to create the connector for pulling out of data from that database, whichever way is more comfortable for you.
Okay, that's the question from Pak Suharyanto. And the other question from Pak Muhammad. Since you said that the customer access the backend process, if some issue happen, mean that the system will be more vulnerable?
Okay. So here's the question on you are looking at ability to do ACL, right? Access control list. So you can decide what they can see, what they cannot see, and what systems they are able to access. So like the example to the access to database as well, you can just simply create an instruction to pull a single line of metadata, also can. So it's not that they have full access into your system. It's just that the systems are connected in such a way that the workflow is seamless through and between systems, whether it's yours or your third-party supplier, right? But obviously, you still require to have all your ACLs in place and all your firewalls in place to make sure that it's secure. Does that answer the question? It doesn't make it more vulnerable than whatever your system is already today. So if your system is fully locked down with all the necessary firewalls and antivirus and everything there, okay, the system works the same. Except that today we actually have either through a port 443, for example, okay, but it's still secure. SSL security links through the nets or whatever system that your third party partner is using.
Okay, so it doesn't mean that ServiceNow make the system more vulnerable, right?
No,
It's still
definitely not.
it's still secure. It's still secure, right?
Yeah, the secure connection to the internet is assured through the various, depending on what you have deployed. Either you have a box, a black box, or you're just simply using SSLs. Okay, it's all available on our platform. But we can look at the exact use case. If you actually have a particular use case that you have concern over for security, I have a team of security people who can chat with you, and look at what are the, if maybe you may have a special requirement for encryption, etc. We have those available as well. Yeah, but you have to pay for the encryptions. We have primarily three different types of encryption: whole database encryption, edge-to-edge encryption, and then end-to-end encryption.
Oke, thank you Gary.
Okay.
Untuk Bapak Ibu jika ada pertanyaan bisa langsung open mic atau bisa juga untuk menulis di kolom chat ya. Jika ingin menulis di dalam bahasa Indonesia juga tidak apa-apa, nanti akan saya coba translate. So from the ServiceNow itself, I'd like to have a conclusion, maybe a little bit conclusion. So while we are using the ServiceNow, there is no shared database, right? Like you mentioned before in the beginning.
Correct. We are using multi-instance deployment. For each customer, you get your own full stack of instance on our cloud data center, right? So all the way from database upwards is entirely, each individual customer has its own instance. It's not like a multi-tenant solution, right? Whereby, so for example, you need not upgrade your system based on a fixed schedule. You get what I mean? That means unlike other multi-tenant, if their system updates, you must follow their schedule to update. Okay, so one of the benefits of having a system, all right, versus a multi-tenanted system is the fact that you have the flexibility internally within your own stack. All right. At the same time, your data is completely secured and that separated from any other customers on the platform.
Okay. And also, Servista has its own how to say the data center, right?
Sorry, say again.
Sorry, the Servista has its own data center, right?
Yes, correct. So the data centers we run in pair. I have showed it earlier to you here. Okay, so our data center run in pair. So in the Asia context, we have what is called as Asia pair. So Asia pair will be Singapore data center mirrored advanced high availability with Seoul, South Korea Seoul data center. Then we have a Tokyo pair and we have a Melbourne Sydney pair in Australia. And there will be some upcoming ones. Yeah, we are growing quickly, so there will be some more pairs coming up along in Asia as well.
Okay, so the nearest data center from Indonesia is Singapore.
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct. I think the reason for, is there any particular reason for concern in this case? Is it like a performance kind of thing, or what is the concern?
Yeah, from my experience while I have a meeting with customer that I think the first issue is uh, the concern is about the connection. I mean the performance because as you know that our connection is not that fast if we compare to other countries, right?
Okay, here's the thing. Because for ServiceNow, we are not running critical systems per se. Okay, if you recall, where is my? Okay, if you recall, your system of records would really be more of your critical systems at the bottom. Okay, so where we are running is one layer higher. Okay, where we are doing the system of action. Yeah, which then means that essentially your portals and all that will be customer facing. But like I mentioned before, we are 99.995 uptime for our SLAs for our data center connectivity, right? Availability, I mean. But connectivity, obviously, it will all be varied from place to place. Even within Indonesia, you will realize that, you know, maybe the town center area it may be faster connected. So, but those are really regardless whether you're even you have data center in country, is also the sama same risk that you take for connectivity, you know, right? Earthquake lah, typhoon lah, break the cable, you know, all these things are happening all over the place. But because we are a cloud platform, right, and internet connectivity is mostly available now. Even Indonesia is getting way better than 10 years ago. So I don't see that this will become a huge barrier for adoption. In fact, many of the large customers in Indonesia are already using the ServiceNow platform today. You know.
Okay. And also, as we can see in here, the ServiceNow has also have the mobile apps, right?
Yes, correct. We actually do. The mobile apps actually would be really giving you the ability to quickly link up to your systems. I am trying to find where is my connector for my phone. Then I can show you my phone also. Oh man, what is happening here? There we go. Okay. So the mobile app is actually very friendly and useful. Okay, so you actually can do a quick download of the mobile app if you want. from any of the app store. So your preferred app store, iOS or Android, you can access the mobile app from there. You go and do a search on ServiceNow. We have 3 apps available with free demo. Don't have to sign up anything. It's for free. Okay, then we can do. Hey, what is happening here? Okay, so while we are waiting for this, you actually have the ServiceNow onboarding, which is HR app. Okay, and at the same time, we also have the ServiceNow mobile app, the green color logo one, and then we also have the ServiceNow agent app. So in a couple of seconds, you will see my screen, and then you can understand where I'm coming from. So we have ServiceNow onboarding. You can see, right? Make it a bit bigger. Okay, so we have the ServiceNow onboarding app, and then we have the ServiceNow mobile app, and we have the ServiceNow agent app. All right. So I know today we are talking about customer service, so we'll look at the agent app itself. Let's take a look. When you go in, you can, I know because I'm also using it, right? So we can just click on the bottom here to say try with the demo account. Yeah. And then obviously the first time you do this, it will ask you for some traffic light or some shop front or bus stop or whatever. And then because you got this. Now, because it's a demo account, you have all the different types of capabilities here as an agent. So if I want to choose customer service agent, which is what we are talking about here, I launch the demo. So for this customer service app, you can be able to touch with all the different cases that you are seeing. Okay, you can start to look at what are the critical cases in my case thing. You can also talk to your support team. So if you have like integration with Teams or you have integration with Slack, it will appear here. You can start to chat with your experts, for example. All right. You can also look at things like FAQs from the support side, and you can look at the notifications from here. Then you can actually go in and drill down to do your work on the mobile phone or tablet for that matter. All right. So you can say, I can propose a solution, and you can type in all the things, basically do work off your mobile phone. Okay. As a customer service agent here. So for example, if right now you go for lunch, hope it doesn't happen often. All right. And then the case is critical case. Somebody call you, WhatsApp you, say critical case. They go in and see critical case. Lama, okay lah, makan halfway, you know. You go in and say, lama, this one easy lah. I just do a proposal. The solution here is already here, already done before, been there, done that. Okay. Connection, resume. Done. Okay. Okay, so the resolution code is resolved, fixed. Okay, done. Of course, you can make it such that the different fields are marked as mandatory. For example, must have. Okay. Then after you do that, okay, no more the critical active cases. Let me try and do a refresh of this one. You will see that active cases is resolved. The mark has resolved already. Can you see that?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So the whole idea is to make work easier, to make work faster, and to make work anywhere and anyhow you want. Meaning you want a mobile also can, you want on desktop PC also can. All right. So I think the idea that we are bringing to the table today with our mobile applications, okay, is that you can do things on the fly. You can have reports also on the fly. Okay. At the same time, you are able to do a lot more things with your mobile devices, like put in corporate messages. You can put in things like in this case brand message. Okay. I don't think you can hear the sound, so we shall not play the video. Which was I strongly encourage you to go and look at the center ServiceNow one. These are the two on YouTube that you can see. We just ran the campaign. It was quite interesting how we make the workflow much faster, even for Santa Claus to make the toys faster. You know, double their productivity. You know, that. So it's interesting. Okay. side advertisement. So as I was saying, so you can see that the entire ability to do work faster, to resolve issues faster, okay, is very real. And I have shared with you many of our customers already today enjoying the kind of productivity improvements that they are seeing, okay, in a very real sense. Customer satisfaction scores are up like many points, depending on how legacy they are, how manual they are. Once they step onto the ServiceNow platform, the whole world of work is literally smoothened. There's no more friction. I no longer need to go to SAP team, talk to the data center team, and talk to the network team. It's no longer this kind of messy phone call, email, or I cannot get the person, he's on leave. All this automation can be built into the workflow to make sure that the single data model ensures that your entire organization, regardless of which silo they sit in or department they sit in, has visibility to all the data, all the issues, all the challenges. Plus, they are given the help through the machine learning and AI to tackle questions that say are common, for example. Okay, so with this itself, you can go in and look at, you can put in help that you need for even like say for change requests. I can actually go in and do my approval processes from here on my mobile phone. So again, it creates that less of a delay. It creates the ability to literally resolve many of these things on the fly, on the go. Okay. And you can do the okay, I authorize this change. For example, if I am given the authority to authorize, I can authorize the change when I'm out for lunch. Okay. So some of these things are very real and it's available today out of the box. Okay. Out of the box availability is there already. Okay.
Yeah. So you see the service now is can integrate with all other platform, right?
Yes, most of the platforms, unless of course it's a
Yeah.
custom built one, then we might need to a bit more work to take a look at it lah. But we have our REST APIs available in our integration hub, which is most of the time able to connect to many of the different things out there today.
Yeah. I think that's why the ServiceNow platform call it platform of platforms, right?
Exactly, you are exactly right.
Yeah, it can integrate seamlessly with the other platforms.
Definitely.
Ya, baik Bapak Ibu, jika masih ada ingin ditanyakan boleh untuk di open mic atau kolom chat. Kami masih menunggu sekitar 3 menit lagi ya sampai 11.25. Jika masih ada yang ingin ditanyakan mengenai service now atau mengenai customer service management secara umum juga tidak apa-apa Bapak Ibu, tidak harus mengenai dari service now-nya itu sendiri atau mengenai customer service management in general, atau mungkin ada pertanyaan tidak berkaitan dengan customer management juga ya. Saya masih menunggu dan di akhir jangan lupa juga untuk mengisi bagi yang mengisi nanti akan ada certificate of attendees. So Gary, while we are waiting for the other question, so I would like to conclude about the customer service management. So the important things about the customer service management is like it increase the productivity, and also so the agent can more focus on the complex issue or critical, let's say critical issue. And also while customer service management can also increase the customer's happiness, means that also increase the loyalty of the customer, right?
Definitely.
And also enable with the customer service management module. The customers can help themselves. It means like a self-service,
Yes.
like the
Correct.
self-service solution, right?
Correct. At the same time, it need not even go through agent. Meaning, if you recall, the ability to connect up the whole enterprise like so, okay, gives you that visibility across. So your middle office sometimes get roped in upfront. Customer asks about billing error. The agent cannot help, correct? So it goes directly into your finance. You see what I'm saying? So the ability to link up the proper resolver group with the actual problem gives that speed. Okay, and then the customer doesn't have to jump, repeat the story to agent, repeat the story to finance, then repeat the story to the store manager. No need. Yeah, you just one time go into the portal or even talk to the agent if you want, and then it goes through the entire process like macam shortcut lah. Right, you go shortcut and say solve my problem. So that is where customers get happier, right? If I call you, I'd make one phone call, I solve my problem. I don't have to wait for days or hours for you to come back to me, no? Okay.
Yeah. So, ya sambil menunggu pertanyaan dari Bapak Ibu, jadi ada beberapa hal yang bisa saya sampaikan mengenai ServiceNow itu sendiri. Jadi yang pertama itu database-nya itu tidak di-share dengan customer lain ya. Dan ServiceNow juga memiliki data center sendiri, yaitu ada di Singapura dan ada di Australia. Itu dan
South Korea.
sorry, South Korea, right.
Yeah.
Also Australia?
Yeah, of course.
Oh
So
yeah, okay.
your customers can choose if they want. They say I want to be in Australia. All right. So if they have Australian companies operating in Indonesia, they say I prefer data center pair in Australia. When they sign up for the services, they can request for Australia data center pair. Or if there's a Japanese company working in Indonesia, functioning in Indonesia, they say I want in the Japanese office because their HQ can high-speed link to the data center in Japan, for example. Right? So there are many different ways you can play, but the pairs are fixed. You cannot say I want one in Japan and one in Australia. Cannot, right? So the Japan pair is Japan pair, Singapore Korea pair is Singapore Korea pair, then Australia pair is Australia pair.
Okay, noted. Iya, itu untuk data centernya sendiri dan ServiceNow juga memiliki mobile apps. Sehingga jadi untuk agent atau untuk dari perusahaan Bapak Ibu juga jadi pekerjaannya juga jadi lebih mudah ya karena sudah ada mobile apps-nya sendiri. Lalu dari sisi customer service manajemennya itu sendiri, itu tujuannya juga untuk meningkatkan produktivitas. Lalu agar agent-agent juga lebih fokus dengan adanya customer service modul ini, jadi agent itu bisa lebih fokus ke isu-isu yang lebih kritikal karena dengan menggunakan CS sorry, disconnected.
Yeah.
Jadi jadi dari sisi customer juga bisa ada fitur untuk self service. Dan lalu yang terakhir adalah dengan meningkatkan happiness atau dari sisi customer experience juga akan meningkatkan loyalty atau dari sisi customer itu sendiri gitu. So Gary, it's almost 11:30, but there is no other questions. I would like to thank you a lot for the presentation. it's a good presentation and it's a good a simple live demo of the mobile apps. I hope that our customer who attend the webinar have more insight and more understanding about the service now itself and also the other modules like customer service management, field service management, and we can service now can also connect to the Internet of Things or IoT devices.
Correct. Correct.
Thank you so
Thanks.
much for your presentation and help and for your time.
Most welcome.
Terima kasih.
Yep.
Jangan lupa juga
Terima
untuk
kasih.
mengisi feedback form yang sudah ada di kolom chat. Terima kasih untuk kehadiran Bapak Ibu sekalian di webinar kali ini.
Okay, thank you.